Bob Wenzel's Scarlet Knights open with a blowout win against Wagner Saturday, but Pete Carrill's Tigers are another story. Princeton has a 29-game home winning streak and a unique style of play that gives you fits.
Of course, they're always difficult to play. They're a team that runs good stuff, and they zone you, and they slap the ball, and so forth. And we're going to have to shoot well, you know, and be patient and try to play good defense.
Well, I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and basically the only thing that's on my mind is just beating Princeton, whatever it takes, you know, by any means necessary. I just want to beat Princeton.
Tip-off 8 p.m. tomorrow night, live on NJN. Hockey tonight.
College ball.
Attack that's helped the Scarlet Knights to 3 postseason appearances in Bob Wenzel's brief tenure on the Banks. But ORU will need strength, speed, and guile for success tonight. The Princeton Tigers put the P in patience with a deliberate attack that's Pete Carrill's trademark in 25 seasons here at Old Nassau. The Tigers are hoping to force the tempo and hit the open 3 in one of New Jersey's oldest basketball rivalries. NJN Sports presents the PSE&G Game of the Week. Tonight, we're live at Jadwin Gymnasium on the campus of Princeton University in Princeton, New Jersey, as the 2-1 Princeton Tigers entertain the undefeated Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Hi everyone, I'm Pat Scanlon. This really is the Tigers' lair. Pete Carrill's Tigers have won 29 straight home games here at Jadwin. That's the 4th longest undefeated streak at home in the nation. It's a tough place to play, and Rutgers hasn't won here in 15 years. My partner on the telecast is a former Rutgers All-American who promises to be objective tonight, Roy Hinson. Roy, what is it about playing the Tigers here at Jadwin?
I tell you, it's not so much the Tigers, it's playing against Pete Carrill. Pete Carrill is probably arguably one of the best coaches in the league, in the country right now. His style of play is so deliberate that he will force you to play his style of ball.
All right, well, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights come in off a win over Wagner. Last year, Bob Wenzel lost Earl Duncan and Keith Hughes to graduation, so he dipped into the junior college ranks. One of the players he got is from Trenton, Steve Worthy. He debuted with 28 points against Wagner.
Steve Worthy really looked good to me. He really looked like a player. You know, even though this is his first year on the Banks, he really looks like he's one of the better. He's going to be one of the better players on this team.
Of course, another junior college player for Rutgers Scarlet Knights, Alvin Rich, played with Wenzel's second unit. He had 17 points.
Yeah, now if Worthy was the best player on the first unit, Rich was the best player on the second unit. He came in there and sparked the team. He made some good three-pointers. He went to the boards hard and really got the team motivated, especially when there was a little lull after the first team was taken out.
Let's talk about the 2-1 Princeton Tigers, coached by Pete Carrill. One of the players that really shoots the 3 well is number 11, Sean Jackson. He's the best in the Princeton record books right now from beyond 3-point range.
I tell you, the Knights are going to have a problem with Chris because he's really going to cause a problem, because if they play zone, Sean is going to sit out there and just fire it up. If they play man-to-man, someone's going to have to stay on him, because there is no help side when this kid is in the game.
You know, you take a look at Sean Jackson from the outside. One of the keys, though, to Carrill's offense is the center position. Last year, he lost a 2-time Ivy League Player of the Year in Kit Miller to graduation. So he goes out and recruits a freshman, Rick Hilscher, and all Hilscher did was be voted the Ivy League Rookie of the Week this week off a 19-point performance at Texas.
Hilscher is probably saying, Kit who? This kid is coming in here, and he's playing like he's a senior. Against Texas, the game I saw, he really looked good. He had a lot of poise. The ball went down to him on the low blocks, and he actually did a great job. Turnaround jump shot. He even had a running hook, something that in my 4 years I could never develop. So I'm really impressed by this kid, and I think within the next 2 or 3 years, he's going to be one of the great ones.
Roy, what is it, though, when you come into Jadwin? You lost 2 games when you visited here with the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. How important will the first 5 minutes be in establishing the tempo of the game for Carrill and for Wenzel as a visitor?
Well, first of all, if Carrill gets the upper hand, which he probably will because of the great outside shooting, Rutgers is going to play his game. But if Rutgers, on the other hand, gets the upper hand, then Krill is going to have to play Rutgers' game. So it's very important that both teams look to start and establish the game early on, because the one who has the advantage after the 5-minute mark will actually be the one who dictates the course of the game.
All right, Rutgers and Princeton coming up from Jadwin Gymnasium here on NJN, and we'll be back with the starting lineups right after this. Welcome back to Jadwin Gymnasium. Packed to the rafters tonight as the Rutgers Scarlet Knights invade. Come down Route 27 and here to Princeton Tiger Country. We're getting ready for the starting lineups. Right now, let's go to public address announcer Kirk Unruh.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jadwin Gymnasium for tonight's varsity intercollegiate basketball game between the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers University and the Tigers of Princeton University. Here are the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Scarlet Knights. At forward, a 6'8" junior from South Brunswick, New Jersey, number 23, Donnell Lumpkin. At center, a 6'9" sophomore from Haddonfield, New Jersey, number 52, Charlie Weiler. At forward, a 6'5" senior from Washington, D.C., number 32, Darrell Smith. At guard, a 6'2" junior from Dorchester, Massachusetts, number 10, Mark Redden. And at guard, a 6'5" junior from Trenton, New Jersey, number 21, Steve Worthy. The head coach of Rutgers is Bob Wenzel. He's assisted by Jeff Mitchell, Ed Jordan, Jerry D'Alessio, and Rick Datica. And now for the three-time defending Ivy League champion Princeton Tigers. At forward, a 6'6" sophomore from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 21, Chris Mooney. At center, a 6'8" freshman from Wilmette, Illinois, number 33, Rick Hilscher. Here now are the Tiger captains. At forward, a 6'8" senior from Baltimore, Maryland, number 55, Matt Eastwick. At guard, a 5'11" senior from Huntington, West Virginia, number 11, Sean Jackson. And at guard, a 6'2" senior from our nation's capital, number 22, George Leftwich. The Capon Green head coach of basketball at Princeton is Pete Carrill. He's assisted by Bill Carmody, Armand Hill, Luis Guadagnino, and Alan Balcom.
Pete Carrill, a coaching legend in the Division I ranks, has led these Tigers to 3 straight NCAA tournament appearances. The Tigers opened up the season here with a win over Monmouth in the NIT preseason Big Apple Classic. They lost at Texas 57-46, then came back and blew out Lafayette, Carrill's alma mater, by the way, 72-49. And the Rutgers Scarlet Knights come in off a opening night victory on Saturday over Wagner, 91-70. And Roy, and one of the interesting things that Bob Wenzel did in that game was go with a first unit for 5 minutes, then a second unit for another 5 minutes, and alternated that all throughout the game. We'll have to see how that goes tonight.
It seemed like it was effective because the second unit actually came in and gave them a spark, especially when I thought that they were kind of slacking off on their play a little bit. So that might be a good thing that they are having that alternating offense.
The officials for this evening's contest, Tommy Lopes, John McDonnell, and Daniel Call, it's pronounced, spelled as Cahill, pronounced as Call. So there's the matchups: Lumpkin, Smith, Weiler, Redden, Worthy, and for the Tigers, Mooney, Eastwick, Hilscher, Leftwich, and Jackson. Hilscher and Weiler to jump it up, and it's a bad toss by Tommy Lopes. And Roy, that's one of the reasons why they've taken the jump ball out of college basketball, except for the opening tip.
Well, I know that's a tough pass to make, especially for a referee who doesn't practice. You only use it like once a game.
Especially when you're trying to throw it up between those trees. Chuck Weiler controls the tip. And we're underway. Our second PSE&G game of the week here on NJN. Mark Redden will handle the ball out top. They swing it to Worthy. Worthy down low, and there's the inside jam by Darrell Smith off the feed from Worthy.
Very good look by Worthy. Now the Knights apply a little pressure.
2-2-1 press for the Scarlet Knights, but Princeton answers at the other end.
One thing they got to really look to do is actually watch the backside.
Chris Mooney with the deuce. We're tied at 2 now. Here's the Eastwick steal. Leftwich to Jackson for 2, and it's 4-2 Tigers.
I feel like Princeton is wanting to just match them basket for basket, wanting to run with them. They handle their pressure well.
There's the steal. Eastwick lays it in, and it's 6-2, and quickly the Tiger press has caused the Knights some problems.
Yes, it is, and in fact, they're going to have to do something to combat this.
This is not what Bob Wenzel wanted for his team to become unrattled by this Princeton full court pressure.
When a young team and away from home is easy to get rattled, especially this gym right here.
This is Darrell Smith dribbling against the pressure. Smith sees a lane, tried to feed it inside. It went off the foot of George Leftwich. So the Scarlet Knights will inbound the ball from the baseline.
Trying to break this press. Execution is going to be very, very important.
Mark Redden, the junior from Dorchester, Mass, to Lumpkin, the three-point specialist. No. Hilscher went up for the rebound, and I believe it was Darrell Smith knocking it out of bounds.
I don't know how good a shot that was actually by Lumpkin. I think I would have passed it around and took some time off the clock.
Well, we haven't had a chance to see Rutgers in their set offense yet. There's a wild pass, but Mooney fields. And the Tigers break the press. Now let's see what Pete Carrill and company have up their sleeves. Jackson, left corner, Eastwick. No. Hilscher, offensive rebound. Offensive foul on the freshman, Rick Hilscher.
I don't know about that one. Seemed like he jumped up and he came down. Redden was just under him.
Minute and a half played here, first half. Princeton and Rutgers. Tigers up 6-2. As Steve Worthy, guarded by George Leftwich. Worthy loses the footing, but it's Weiler regaining. Open shot for Lumpkin. And Donnell Lumpkin drains the three-point shot. Rutgers quickly within 1.
Very important that Lumpkin hits his shots early, because if he doesn't, he gets frustrated.
Last year, Lumpkin had to come off the bench, playing behind Duncan and Hughes and Dabbs, and felt the pressure. This year, Bobby Wenzel says he feels more relaxed and understands his role, is not under as much pressure to make things happen right away. The foul underneath goes on Rick Hilscher as he was battling for position inside.
I think that was a little bit of a legal pick there by Hilscher. I think they called him for moving on the pick.
Second foul on Hilscher. Worthy. Left wing for Lumpkin. Stolen by Mooney. Now Sean Jackson settles things down. The senior from Huntington, West Virginia. He's the top returning scorer for Princeton. Averaged 12.7 points a game as a junior. Boy, it's very unusual for Princeton to have better size than Rutgers.
Yeah, this is true. Usually they're a much smaller team.
The foul is on Mark Redden as he slaps at the ball.
And what I was about to say is usually, and if you look at the other guys on the bench, then you will see that they are smaller. After their first maybe six or seven players, they become very small. As we wait for someone to tie a shoelace.
Bobby Wenzel, who played basketball, a 1971 graduate of Rutgers. First player to return to his alma mater as a head coach. Here's Mooney, who had a great evening against Monmouth in the opener. Is 5 of 6 from beyond the three-point stripe for 19 points.
What's key here is to watch the patience of Princeton, how they will work themselves to get a great shot. Not a good shot, but a great shot. They don't force that many shots.
There's Jackson, but Worthy comes out on him to help. Rutgers in a matchup zone. Hilscher out top. Good ball movement. Finds Matt Eastwick open for the three. Eastwick can't convert. And there's Jackson almost making the steal in the backcourt.
Always got to watch out for those guards.
There's the lob from Redden to Worthy.
Very good look that time by Redden.
Rutgers leads for the first time at 7-6. First field goal for Steve Worthy. And that junior college transfer from Vincennes College in Indiana.
That will help get some of the butterflies out for Rutgers.
Mooney back out top to Jackson. Now Leftwich. Darrell Smith turns Mooney away. Here's Hilscher. He is now 4 of 5 from three-point range in his 4 games at Princeton.
That impressed me. I didn't think he had that in his game, but obviously he does.
Lumpkin tries to answer. Yes, from three-point land.
He's not a little too early. It's very big that he gets on the board quick.
6 points for Donnell Lumpkin. Here's the steal by Darrell Smith. Out of bounds. Rutgers gets the ball off the turnover. Well, we've played 4 minutes and 40 seconds of the first half. Rutgers leading the Princeton Tigers 10-9, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Jadwin Gym. Rutgers up by 1, and Roy Mark Redden threads the needle here.
Yeah, what he does right here, he's seeing Worthy the whole time. He's dribbling up, and he's going to make a beautiful pass up towards the basket. Worthy times his jump great and slams it for 2. Great eye contact by Worthy and Redden.
And here's the Princeton defense, Matt Eastwick with the steal and score.
Yeah, even for a big fella, here he is 6'8", better than 230, steals the ball from a guard and goes in. I think he's a little stiff right now, so he couldn't slam it, actually.
Okay, Rutgers to inbound. Whistle goes with a different look now. Worthy stays in, as does Weiler. Worthy missing for 3, but Alvin Rich into the ball game along with Lumpkin and Weiler. So number 35, Alvin Rich, who had 17 against Wagner playing in the second unit, comes onto the court, as does number 11, Damon Santiago, a freshman point guard. Kirill stays with his iron 5.
Rutgers is very active in their zone right now. They need to get their hands up moving, though. Try to deflect the pass.
Mooney for 3. And it's Worthy with the rebound. Now here's our first look at Damon Santiago, the freshman from the Bronx. Weiler. Offensive rebound. No. And it's Mooney pulling down the loose ball. Chuck Weiler had a couple cracks at it.
Yes, but he just couldn't put it down. He should have gathered himself a little bit stronger and went up just a little harder.
Leftwich. Senior, played his high school ball at Gonzaga in Washington, D.C. First team All-Ivy as a junior. Eastwick from the corner, that's his spot, and it's a three-pointer. 5 points for Matt Eastwick, and the Tigers are up by 2 at 12-10.
He's taken 3 three-pointers, and all 3 of them has been from that side of the floor. Maybe that's his side of the floor.
There's Lumpkin quickly to Rich, and Rich does what he did against Wagner. He lights it up off the bench.
Instant spark coming right into the game, putting it up, giving the team a big lift.
Rutgers has gone to a 2-2-1 press this season. Bob Wenzel wanting to play some aggressive defense.
With a team like Princeton, you have to be aggressive, but you also have to keep in mind, look out for that back door, because when you stop thinking about it, that's when it's going to come.
Mooney on the right wing, looks for Jackson, and Jackson blows the gimme, but there is Eastwick, and there is the patience of the senior. He pulls it back out, and they reset the offense.
Any other team, they wouldn't have did that. The person who got the ball would have went up strong to the basket with it. He pulled it out. Now they have another 45-second clock, and now they can work for a better shot.
There's the freshman center, Hilscher. Now they work down low. Mooney off glass, no. Rebound, Chuck Weiler to Santiago. The freshman runs the break and now resets the offense.
You won't see that too much from Princeton, missing 2 layups in a row.
And now we're going to get a look at what Rutgers has been running. We haven't really seen their weave offense yet, where they run a weave at the top of the key. Lumpkin for 3, no. And rebound by the 5'11" guard, Sean Jackson. Roy, how does a little guy like that sneak in there amongst those big bodies?
Being quick and being very smart.
Leftwich looking for Eastwick, and that time Alvin Rich flashes out on defense. Now 15 on the 45-second clock as Mooney drives, blocked from behind by Lumpkin, who leads the break to Rich, right side, pulls up, off glass, no. Rebound, Hilscher.
Little strong off the glass that time by Rich.
We're tied at 12. 11:30 left first half. Eastwick again from 3. Santiago rips down the rebound.
Wick must have the green light this year because he's putting up quite a bit of 3.
Eastwick averages 8 points a game. Coming into the game, he was 3 for 6 from three-point range. Santiago, no, and Mooney quickly on the attack. 3-on-1. Look away to Jackson. The blocking foul. It's called on Steve Worthy. That'll get Pete Carrill up.
Oh, he definitely had Bob up. Okay, we're going to take another look at that. We see Mooney look off and gives the ball to Sean. It looks like he had position, but obviously the referee didn't see it that way.
Bob Wenzel talked about Steve Worthy, and he had 28 points against White, and said he also took 2 charges for me. He was just as impressed with that defensive effort.
This is true, and there's one thing, usually when a person scores a big number of points on the offensive end, they usually lose a little bit on the defensive end, trying to save themselves. But here's a guy who played both ends on the floor the last time out.
Sean Jackson is still perfect from the free throw line this season, now 3 for 3. Petey Carrill surprised by that fast break by his Tigers. Jackson makes them both. Princeton leads 14-12 and will return to Jadwin Gym where the Scarlet Knights find themselves down by 2. Well, next Tuesday night's live NJN PSE&G Game of the Week features New Jersey Athletic Conference play. The Montclair State Redhawks travel to Trenton to take on the Trenton State Lions. Greg Grant, a former Trenton State player, now in the NBA with the Charlotte Hornets. And that'll be live at 8 o'clock from Packer Hall. Of course, right here we have the 98th meeting of Rutgers and Princeton. The series began back in 1917 with Princeton leading the series 66-31. Carrill is 14-11 against the Scarlet Knights. Wenzel is 1-2 in his 3 seasons. Tigers by 2 at 14-12. Pat Scanlon, Roy Hinson here from Jadwin, and now we see the Rutgers weave.
So like Princeton's doing a good job of shutting some of the weave off.
If anybody is used to defending a weave, it should be these guys going up against it in practice.
This is true. Yeah, I'm sure they probably had their share of it.
So it is Rutgers running down the clock. Mike Jones in, along with Jamal Phillips, number 31. The pass for Phillips was batted away. Scramble for the loose ball. Bodies everywhere.
I heard the horn, so it should be...
No possession, it's a shot clock violation. No possession. Right ball there.
Shot clock violation, says Tommy Lopes. No possession. So the Tigers will inbound the ball from half court. Well, Rutgers trying to show a little patience on offense, and the Tigers were able to turn them away as the shot clock expired.
Well, I think it was more so that the Princeton showed a great job on defense, so it forced them to actually show some patience because they weren't getting the shots that they wanted. It wasn't getting a good enough look at a shot.
Pete Carrill has stayed with his starting 5. Interesting that he is without Chris Marquardt. Marquardt from Florida flew down to his home state today. Jackson knocks down a 3. Marquardt will interview for a Rhodes Scholarship tomorrow morning. He couldn't catch a plane out later this evening or tomorrow morning, so he had to miss the game. And Rutgers is missing a player as well, Creighton Drury. He's interviewing for a Rhodes Scholarship tomorrow morning up in Morristown.
They say that Pete Carrill tried everything he could to get his player a flight out tomorrow.
This is Jamal Phillips, a freshman. Forces it over Hilscher. Darryl Smith, offensive rebound, and that's what Wenzel looks to Smith for. High energy and activity on the offensive boards.
Being very active underneath and a lot of aggressive play.
Rutgers trapping out top, but the Tigers able to control with 30 seconds on the shot clock. Eastwick, and it's Mike Jones slapping at the ball, and Jones picking up the personal foul. That's the third on Rutgers.
You know, the knock on Mike Jones is that he's foul prone. He's probably one of the best defensive players on the team, but he's just maybe a tad over aggressive. He needs to learn how to slap up at the ball so he doesn't get so many fouls.
Fresh 45 for the Tigers. Hilscher looked inside. Eastwick lost for a moment, regained and missed the shot. And here comes Mike Jones, the junior from Morrisville, Pennsylvania, to Santiago. Throws a looping shot, no good. Jamal Phillips gets the rebound and is fouled.
Down the other end, that was a third layup that was missed by Princeton.
Princeton personal foul number 30.
Okay, we're going to take another look at that. Santiago's dribbles down the lane, throws a crazy shot up, goes off the glass. Phillips goes up, gets the rebound, and gets fouled by Hilscher.
That is the third personal foul on Rick Hilscher. So into the ball game now comes number 32, Jimmy Lane, a senior from Fanwood, New Jersey. And here's Jamal Phillips. What a first game. Jamal Phillips with 10 points and 9 rebounds.
Little short that time on that free throw. Has to use more legs, put more legs into it.
This just his second free throw of the season. His first point this evening, and Rutgers down by 2. Here's Eastwick to a wide open Mooney. The Tigers realized that they didn't have the advantage and bring it back out.
Pat, that's a mark of great coaching. Just not to force a shot, to always want to bring it back out and get a great shot.
There's a look at Jimmy Lane, using his body in that high post offense of the Tigers. Now 5 on the shot clock. Leftwich. Inside feed to Chris Mooney for 2.
Oh, great look by the guards. I tell you, they played that play very well together. Thought the shot clock was going to actually expire on them, but they showed patience and got the final shot.
Mooney with 4, Tigers by 4. Jones misses, rebounds. Off to Phillips, and Phillips with the right-handed shot for 2. 3 points now for Jamal Phillips. Jimmy Lane, back to Leftwich. And now Eastwick. Sean Jackson, who broke Bobby Scrabus's 3-point field goal record for field goals made. There's another try. Off rim, no.
Rutgers made out that time very well because they left the guard open. Sean.
There's Mooney with the strip off Phillips. You know, Lumpkin getting set to check back in for Rutgers. Now the Tigers show their weave. Alvin Rich intercepts the pass from Mooney. Back to Santiago. Left wing. This is Mike Jones for 2, and Rutgers is tied it at 19.
Santiago did a great job getting the ball up the court and finding the open man.
Rutgers now shows a 2-1-2 full court press. Wenzel shouting for a 10-second violation. Very close. The Tigers get it into the front court with 25 left now on the shot clock. Eastwick guarded by the freshman Jamal Phillips. Mooney with a height advantage on Santiago. And now Eastwick dishing for Jackson. Kirill calls Eastwick his journeyman forward. Would have counted off the offensive goaltending. It goes anyway, so we'll take a break. Princeton leading the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers 21-19. Back after this. Welcome back to Jadwin Gym, and here's Matt Eastwick working the glass.
That time a great pass in from Sean Jackson. He takes a dribble in, big step, and puts a little hook up there. They call it offensive, actually goaltending, but it didn't need the call because it was going in anyway.
Matt Eastwick with 7 points, sharing high-scoring honors for the Tigers with Sean Jackson. Now Bob Wenzel makes some substitutions, comes back with Worthy, Redden, Rich, Lumpkin, and Chuck Weiler.
Instead of Redden handling the ball, you see Worthy is actually bringing it up. Bob must feel he's a better ball handler against pressure.
Princeton working out of their very characteristic and familiar zone. Chuck Weiler over the freshman Hilscher, and it's Mooney with the rebound.
Tough shot by Wilder.
Weiler, who averages 6 points a game thus far, 4 rebounds.
Rutgers sits back in a 2-3 zone. It's a little tight.
Mike Brennan in the ball game, number 23 for Princeton at the point, replacing George Leftwich. Brennan played his high school ball at Elizabeth for Ben Candolino. Now 8 on the shot clock. Jackson. And Jackson had a notion to throw it to Mooney. Picked off by Lumpkin. To Rich. Counted. And the foul on Matt Eastwick.
Great job of running by Rutgers there. Looking for the open man, putting the ball in the basket.
Matt Eastwick picks up his first. And it was Alvin Rich with the basket, now attempting the three-point play. And Rich now with 5 points. And Rutgers up on top, 22-21 with 4:24 left in the first half. Here's the pressure. Jackson up to Eastwick. Scarlet Knights back in a hurry, Roy.
Yeah, they definitely retreated very quickly back, and they're back into a man-to-man now. Doing a good job of mixing up the defenses.
Jimmy Lane kicks back to Eastwick. Sloppy pass, but Sean Jackson able to retrieve. Now Lane. Eastwick got Chuck Weiler up in the air. They work to Mooney, top of the three-point arc, and it won't go. Donnell Lumpkin had the offensive position for the rebound. Thought we might have an over-the-back call on Eastwick.
I thought if not over the back, definitely Rutgers' ball at that time, but they awarded the ball to Princeton.
It'll be Princeton's ball when we return to Jadwin Gym right after this. A good look at Bob Wenzel coming into the game with a record of 56-40. He's taken the Scarlet Knights to 2 NCAA appearances and 1 NIT. And Pete Kirill, 9 trips to the NCAAs, 2 to the NITs, including a championship in 1974-75.
Few substitutions here.
Princeton goes with Chris Yetman, number 15, in the backcourt, along with Brennan. Mike Brennan played high school ball with Luther Wright at Elizabeth. Luther now at Seton Hall.
One thing you notice about Princeton, regardless of whoever they bring in, they usually play the same style. There's no change.
Wipe it out. Offensive foul. The charge on Chris Yetman, the sophomore from Point Monmouth.
We're going to take it. We'll take another look at that. Yetman drives by Weiler, but Rich does a great job of cutting them off and gets the offensive foul. Great help defense.
Mike Jones in the ball game now for Rutgers.
Nothing looks like he goes out with a bruised leg.
limped off the court. So it's Worthy and Jones along with Weiler, Redden. Turnovers even. Princeton with 6, Rutgers with 5. Jones left alone. They'll let him shoot that shot all day.
Yeah, he's not known to be a shooter. I'm surprised he actually took that shot, but I guess he was so wide open, he might as well try it.
Like Jones, who started 25 games as a sophomore for the Scarlet Knights. Averaging 8 points a game this season. Actually, 1 game. In the corner, Rich. Tipped up and in by Mike Jones.
Great work on the offensive boards by Jones.
4 points for Jones, and the Scarlet Knights up by 3. Yetman. And now they reverse the ball. And Chris Mooney loses the handle.
That time he took his eyes off the ball right before the ball actually reached his hands.
Pete can't believe it.
Both teams in the pressure trap.
And now we see the Rutgers weave again, but it's Worthy trying to create off the dribble, and Steve Worthy, a 2-point shot. He's got 4 points, and the Scarlet Knights build a 5-point lead.
After the first game, he's been semi-quiet.
Yetman from Mater Dei as the Knights trap. And Yetman calls timeout. And Pete Carrill is livid up here on the sidelines. He thought that Yetman was fouled, and he really came up the sidelines and worked the official.
But the thing is, on the flip side, Bob was saying that he double dribbled.
And the clock continues.
The clock has continued to run. They're not stopping the clock.
Clock now at 45 seconds and counting down as Carrill huddles his Tigers.
Little chaos, to say the least.
So now Tommy Lopes comes over to the scoreboard to work on the clock situation. Pete Carrill has been the only head coach since Jadwin Gymnasium opened here at Princeton in 1969. 8 20-win seasons.
Again, Rich actually puts the shot in for the from the corner. Mike Jones tips it in. Great work on the offensive boards. Another angle of the play. You see Jones goes way up and tips it in with one hand.
Mike Jones, who played at Pennsbury High School in Bucks County. 1:55 left on the clock now, as Brennan inbounds to Yetman.
I guess after all the screaming of what Bob did, you had to reset the clock.
Here's Eastwick handing off to Yetman. Jimmy Lane. 20 on the shot clock.
Both teams are playing really hard and aggressive defense now. A lot of bumping and banging out there.
6 on the shot clock as Yetman gets it to Mooney. They find Eastwick. His 3-point attempt is off the back of the iron. Worthy quickly to Rich. Good play by Rich to regain.
Worthy holds the ball to pretty much just to settle the team right now.
Mark Redden thought better of it. Gets it back from Chuck Weiler. Now Redden off to Weiler, who put it on the floor and had it batted away by Mooney. Out of bounds. Rutgers will maintain possession as Sean Jackson will replace Mike Brennan.
Weiler would have did a better job if he just went up for the shot instead of bouncing the ball. A lot of big guys get in trouble by trying to bounce the ball first.
23 left on the shot clock for the Scarlet Knights. Under 1 minute to play here in the first half. Rutgers up 26-21. Now under 10. As goes on Jackson. Goes out of bounds. Jackson got a piece of the ball, but it went off Redden's hand.
Hey, great defense by Jackson, deflecting the ball off of Redden.
40 seconds left. Shot clock is off as Mike Brennan brings it up court. Princeton in an uncharacteristic position of trailing at home by 5. the final seconds of the first half. Tigers have won 29 straight here at Jadwin Gym.
Little weave by Princeton there.
There's your time left. Mooney to Jimmy Lane. Back out top. Jackson for three. No! Kept alive, and a traveling called as the buzzer went off.
Little walk before the buzzer went off, but I guess it doesn't matter. Clock expired.
I think if you told Bob Wenzel he could walk off the court at halftime up by 5 before this game started, he'd have been very happy.
Without a doubt, because now you pretty much are forcing Princeton to play a little bit up-tempo game now.
And so we've played one half of basketball, the second PSE&G Game of the Week here on NJN. And the Princeton Tigers lead, or trail rather, Rutgers 26-21.